Hi, this is Kim with Mom's Creative Moments. Welcome back to my channel. Happy Valentine's Day. It's a happy Friday around our house. And today we're going to do a layout of my sweetheart and I, just for fun. This is a little bit of a branch away from what we've been working on, or what I've been working on, but it'll be fun anyway. And I hope you enjoy it. Since I'm filming this introduction after I've already filmed the video, I will just tell you, I make a pretty big mistake, but I think I recovered okay. You let me know what you think. Also, I wanted to make sure that you know that I'm hosting a sketch challenge in March, and I hope you'll join me. It's not very expensive, and I am giving away quite a lot of prizes, so I hope that you will jump in and get excited with me as we celebrate Magic March. There will be details in the description of this video of how to join that sketch challenge, so I hope that you will come along with me. So let's check out my workspace and we'll get started on this layout. All right, this is my workspace for today. And today's layout is going to be for a special event. So it's not, it doesn't go in my Ireland album. I know, right? So we are going to just go ahead and do a page that's actually going to go in my family album. And this is for an event that happened just after Thanksgiving, just as the holiday season was gearing up and getting going. And we're going to use a variety of papers here, but it's because of where this event falls in the year and the type of event it was that I have the red and the green and stuff out here. So I have a piece of paper here from the new Wonderful Day wood grain collection, and so this is just a piece of wood grain paper, and then the red papers come from the Totally Tonal Red collection, and the green papers come from the Totally Tonal Kelly Green, and the sticker that we're going to use comes from the Totally Tonal Green Hues sticker 12-inch sticker pack. And then I just have a scrap piece of Black Cardstock that we're going to use also. All right, I have my permanent and repositionable adhesive out, which we will get to in just a little bit. So I'm going to scoot that over there. We'll get to it eventually. I pulled out a couple of punches. I'm not sure exactly if we'll use both of them or not. Probably not both. But I do have the Musical Notes Border Maker cartridge, which you might have if you've been around CM for long enough. This was a pretty old one from when the Border Maker system first kind of came out. And then this one came along a little ways after that. This is the Musical Staff and Notes. And I haven't really gotten a chance to play with this one too much, so I think we actually might use this one today. But anyway, this couple of options for you if you need to make a page like this. All right, so I am doing photos today from our Gentri experience, and if you're not familiar with Gentri, Gentri is a trio, a singing trio, and they do all sorts of wonderful renditions of Broadway and classical type tunes, but a lot of it's Broadway. And I just think they sound so nice together. They have such a nice blend of their voices, and all of them have been around for so long. It's around the musical community for a very long time. So really, really fun. We had a marvelous time, and I will get into that a little bit more when I get into the pictures. But for now, I'm just going to take this piece that has kind of a chevron pattern in it from the Totally Tonal Red pack, and I'm going to pull my straight blade out and set it over here. So it'll be somebody's job to remind me to put that back in before I try to make a cut in a little bit. I'm going to pull my scoring blade off the back here. It's this orange one. And we're going to do some scoring. Quite a bit of scoring, actually. Okay. So first of all, we are going to, just to make this a little easier, we're going to cut this in half. I have this in here with the chevrons going horizontally, and I'm going to cut it at 6 inches. Oops, but I have my scoring blade in there. You're saying to yourself, how are you going to do that, Kim? Watch. It's magic. Oh, speaking of that, did I mention, I'm not sure because I haven't done the introduction just yet for this one, but don't forget, if you're interested in a sketch challenge, I'm doing a March sketch challenge. This is a first time for me, so if you would like to support me in that, that would be great. And you'd get some several pages done and possibly win some prizes. So go to, where should you go? Go to description of this video, and there will be a link there that will link you to the registration for the March Magic, the Mom's Creative Moments March Magic Sketch Challenge. That's going to be a fun new thing for me to do. And I would love for you to join me. Okay, now I am taking my straight blade out and putting my scoring blade back in. Okay, so we're going to score each of these pieces of paper, and we're going to score them by starting with 1/2 inch and then moving over 1/4 inch. Be careful when you score. So we're going to repeat that pattern, 1/2 inch, 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, 1/4 inch. Be careful when you score because we're using decorative paper, not cardstock. If you score with too much pressure, then you will cut your paper, which is not what we really want to do. I mean, it's not going to be the worst thing ever, but it is not what we want to do. So try and avoid it if you can. Okay, so now my eyeball is coming over here to help me score it in all the right places. So we're going to fast forward this, but just remember the pattern, 1/2 inch, 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, 1/4 inch, and do both halves of your paper. Alright, so now I have scored all of that, so I'm going to remove my scoring blade. Haha, thanks for the reminder, guys. Put my straight blade back in there. Okay, then we're going to take each one of these pieces of paper and we're going to fold them. Alright, so we are going to fold the patterned side of the paper in towards the 1/4 inch mark. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Fold it in towards the 1/4 inch mark, like that. Okay, then we're going to fold it back. And we're going to just go back and forth and back and forth all the way across till we have it all the way folded. And I need one more thing that I didn't pull out. Where is it? There it is. If you have a bone folder, get that out because that's going to allow you to make some really nice, fine folds, much better than your fingers will allow. Okay? So just work your way across, and I'll see you when we're done. All right. All done. Okay, well, sort of done. Okay, so what we're going to do with these is make some curtains, or at least that's my hope. So what I want to do is kind of gather this together, and I don't know if it's going to work quite the way that I want it to, but we'll see what I can get this to do. What I want to do is sort of add an extra pleat right here, and I don't know. I want to wonder if I cut it on this part right underneath here. So just before the 5th layer, and I'm cutting that up about, let's go about 4 inches. Then I can take this top part and lay it over the top to essentially pull back the curtain. Let's go up just a little bit further. So that's about 5 inches. And we can tack that down. Okay, so I'm going to add a little bit of repositionable adhesive, just because I think it will be more forgiving in the long run. And I'm just going to pull the lower part back until it meets the edge over here. Okay, and I'm going to just sort of force that to go down. What that does is it fans the top of it out, and it keeps the base more scrunched together. Okay, then we can go back in and we can add more adhesive to this lower part just to give it some reinforcement. So I'm going to use my more permanent adhesive to do that, to help that lay that down a little bit more easily. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing over here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm going to cut just inside here. I don't know, guys, I may have bitten off more than my amateur skills could afford this time. I get inspired by these people that are phenomenal with their paper skills, and then realize that maybe I should have held back just a little. Okay. Remember, this is coming all the way over to the side and then going down. That might be too far. So there. So that it pulls the pleat out at the top, but it lays down here nicely. And then we're going to put some permanent adhesive here to hold it and reinforce that so it doesn't pull. Alright, so those are our curtains. And the curtains are going to go into Peekaboo pockets. Normally there would be more on the Peekaboo pocket, but this time around I am not doing that. I learned something in a class with Martha Murray not long ago, and so this is a twist on her class. I hope she doesn't mind. It was a while ago, so. Come on now, go in there. Okay, I want this to stay right out here on the edge of the Peekaboo pocket. So just like that. If yours is inclined to not stay, then I would recommend just a little bit of adhesive. I'm going to put a little bit of, actually, I'm going to put a little vellum adhesive and see how that does. Because the vellum adhesive tends to disappear when you use vellum. I wonder if it will disappear if I use it on this. Not really. Does better with vellum, but that's okay. I just wanted something to be able to stabilize that. Okay, so then this will fold over and anchor it. And I think what I'm going to do is add some letters inside here for my title. So, so that these curtains serve a double purpose. We'll do the same thing with this one just to kind of anchor it down. Vellum adhesive and I sometimes don't see eye to eye, so that's okay. All right. So I'm going to set these aside and let's work on the rest of the page. We're going to cut some things and punch some things. Okay. So first of all, we're going to, I'm going to take this piece here of black, I want 1 3/4 by 12 inches of the black cardstock. Okay, so that piece is going to sit there and wait for me to be ready for it. This sticker is also going to just sit and wait for me to be ready for it. I want this piece to be, this piece is going to be 8 inches this way. Going to be 8 inches this way. And 8 inches this way. Actually, I'm going to go 8.5 inches this way. So we have a little bit of an overlap. Okay, so that's for the right side of the page. That's extra. It's going to go over there. All right, then I want, keeping my pattern going the same way, I want this to be at 8.5 as well. And that's going to be on the left. Now, using the wood, I want 2 pieces that are 4. Let's go. Let's go 4 and let's go 4.5. Sorry. 4.5. And another one that is 4.5. Okay, that's going to go over here. And then, so I have the same paper that I made those curtains from, and I'm going to use the chevron going in the same direction, but I only need 1/2 inch of this. So we're going to go with 1/2 inch piece of that pretty red chevron. And then I'm going to also cut, and I'm going to use this space over here because I'm just going to use the space in the middle. So I'm cutting that at 4.5. And then I'm just going to cut this circle off. And I want 6.5 going this way. It's short. So that's not going to work. That's okay. No worries. I'll just use this other piece that I have. So let's cut this at 4.5 and then we'll trim it. Four and a half by 6.5. And I'll use that other piece for a smaller picture somewhere along the line. All right. So that's a mat that's going to go up there. Then I have this other piece of red that I'm also going to make some mats with. Now I'm just going to use the Magic Mat formula to create this one. And because I have 1, 2, 3, I have 4 mats that I need that are going to be 4.5 by 6.5. So in order to do that, I need 4.5 plus 6.5 is 11. So I need an 11-inch square. So that means I'm going to cut an inch off on either side. So there's an inch. I'm going to turn this. I'm going to cut 1 more inch. So now it's 11 inches square. And now what I'm going to do is put this at 4.5 inches up here. So 4.5 right here. I'm going to start cutting at 6.5. Just there, and go forward. And I'm going to turn it. I'm going to line it up again at 4.5. I'm going to start cutting at the cut and go forward. turning it, lining it up again at 4.5. There's a third one, or fourth one, second, I don't know, what are we on? Okay, 4.5 again. And then here is the last one. All right, and then this is just an extra piece. All right, so let's go ahead and assemble these pages. All right, so this is my family album. This is the second half of 2024. And so we're just gonna work right in my album today. I know I don't usually do that, but that's what I'm needing to do today, because the page that I need to work on is already in the album. So we're just gonna work on it like this. All right, so I'm gonna take the green pieces and I'm gonna put those down first. My jumbo is struggling. Okay. So I just wanted to point something out here, and this is not unusual when you use this size of adhesive. Sometimes, so those of you who got this, you may be running into an issue similar to this. Sometimes the extra cellophane gets wadded up back here on the wheel, and it can make it really difficult to pull your adhesive when that happens. So there is nowhere that says to do this, but this is what I do when this happens. Because again, I've used this size adhesive for quite a long time. So I reach in here and I just lift this big wheel up a little bit, enough that I can release the smaller wheel. Okay. Note that it's coming off the back of the smaller wheel, right? I'm going to trim it. Yep, I'm going to cut it right off. Okay? I'm going to cut it off and I'm going to remove all this extra cellophane, because all it's doing is bogging down what I'm trying to do. Now that I'm covered in cellophane, so I'm gonna just reach in here with my scissors. When you get to the end, you have your blank cellophane that has you use the adhesive off of, and then you have more adhesive, okay, sticky. And what you want to do is leave that tucked in there so that you still have adhesive that's sticky all the way around. Okay, then stick this back in place and take that cellophane that you have left, that little tail from where you cut, and wrap it around and press it into that adhesive that's still on the wheel. Okay, and then it will continue to pull and wind up that adhesive for you. All right, come on. Okay, give me a second to grab all this adhesive and get it into my trash. Okay, there we go. Now, where did I leave off? That's got adhesive, that's got adhesive, so does that. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and make this so that the rainbows are looking like rainbows. And this is gonna go down flush with the top Oh, I forgot to do something on this particular paper, so that one's going to have to stay right there. I need to, let's just go ahead and do that. Before we get too far, I need to punch this. We're going to put some musical notes across the top, even though I've already got adhesive on there. Let's see how that works. So I'm going to feed this into my punch and go ahead and punch it. And I'm going to slide it. Oh, you know what I should have done is just punched it out of black. What am I thinking? I don't think I can recover from that one, girls. Well, maybe I can. Let me think. Okay. I'm going to grab, I should have punched that out of black. So I'm going to grab my black that I trimmed off earlier. Okay. And I'm going to punch this piece rather than using that. I was not counting on this being a essentially a chain decorative punch, and it is. It's separating completely from the paper. So because it does that, I need I should not have punched my base paper. So let me think how I can fix that. I think I have an idea. I don't know if it'll work exactly, but I'm going to try it. Okay, I'm going to punch this whole row, but I'm not going to use this whole row. That's okay. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here and borrow this paper. And I might need a piece that's bigger. Pattern is off. So let's try this one and see if this one will work better. If I just cut a section of that, I might be able to make that work. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a piece of this that is about 2 inches, 2 by 4, and let's see, I can either put it underneath or I can put it over the top. I think I'm going to put it on top. Okay, so I'm going to use my repositionable adhesive. And then I'm going to take this extra piece and I'm going to match up my edges as well as I can. Almost. It almost disappears. Almost. Yay. Okay. Now I'm going to take one of these that I punched. I'm going to put repositionable adhesive on the back. And this is going to go across the top right over where I punched. And look at that. Can't even see it, except right here where that's going to lift off. Okay, so let me fix that. Okay. All right, now we're going to put this down. Holy moly. Okay. I am not used to having to put out fires, especially when I am recording, so there you go. I hope that helps you know a way that you can overcome when you punch something you didn't intend to punch. All right, now we're going to take the wood paper, and it's going to go down over the bottom. Then over here on this side, we're going to take our musical notes that we punched. I'm going to put some adhesive on the first 8 inches or so. So I think right about to there. And it's going to go down across the top of the 8x8 square. That, and then we're going to just trim it off. Save this, we might need it. Okay, then I'm going to take the 8x8 square and let me move this stuff over here for a second. This is going to go down right here in the center. Okay, so like so. Then we're going to wait on that piece, and we're going to wait on the sticker. We'll get to those in just a minute, but right now let's just do the wood so that it is down. There you go. It's almost the same color as the Spargo paper that's underneath it, which is kind of not intended, but just sort of a thing. All right, now we're going to add some photos, and I'm going to do that first because, and you'll see why in just a second. So let me find my photos. Here they are. All right, so I'm going to just work with 4 photos first. We'll get back to the rest of those in a jiffy. So I'm not sure if we were supposed to take photos or not, but I figured they're just going in my album, so it's not going to be that big a deal. And hopefully Hopefully if Gentri or a family member sees this, they won't freak out. But I don't know if I'll ever get to go to one of their concerts again, so I wanted to be able to remember the moment. And I figure they're kind of getting some free publicity by me telling you all about it. So hopefully they won't mind. Okay, so these photos I have cut 3 of them into 3 by 4 inch photos, and this one up here is 3 by well, it would be 3 by 6 if they had given me a 3 by 6 print or 4 by 6 print, but they gave me a 4 by 5 and 7/8 print. So it's 3 by 4 or 3 by 5 and 7/8. And I'm just stacking these edge to edge. Okay, so edge to edge, these are going down just like so. Now I'm going to pop this big one back up here for a second. And in the course of that, I'm going to place this red ribbon that we made right down the edge of these other photos so that there's no edge. Oop. Come down a little so you can't see the edge of the photos. Okay, hang on just a second, I'm sorry. I am off by just enough that it's causing heartache for me. Not for you, but for me. Okay, so right along the edge, top to bottom, and then this picture goes right down on top. Oh, actually, hold on, we're not done. I actually was going to add this in also. So we've got red and we've got green, and everything is super festive. All right, there we go. Okay. Now we are going to go ahead and mount some of the other photos. I have a lot of Peekaboo pockets in this layout because I only wanted to do one layout, but I had a lot of things that I took pictures or screenshots of that I wanted to include in here. So we are going to mat a few things, which is why we made these fun mats over here, right? Okay, I'm going to use this one on this page so that I have that chevron on both pages. And I'm going to mount the picture that's on the bottom of the Peekaboo pocket is going to be centered on the mat. So this was the theater that we were in, the Eccles Theater in downtown Salt Lake City. And as we were standing there in awe of our surroundings, because we've only been in there one other time, and it was to see another play. We went and saw Dear Evan Hansen when it came to town a while ago, because we left New York before it came, or before we were able to go see it, as it was becoming a phenomenon. And so we, and when we went to see it was the day before the world shut down. Odd things we remember, right? And so because it was the day before the world shut down, we had not been back since. So it was, we were not familiar with the beautiful starry ceiling that that you get to enjoy when you are waiting for your event to begin. So, super fun. Hang on just a second, I'm going to explain what these are. So, I don't know if you're aware of this, but Gentri is a trio of voices, but it is not a trio of entertainers. This gentleman right here, Steven Nelson, is pretty dadgum phenomenal. And they call him their manager. But he is in charge of all of the orchestrations that they sing to. And he is pretty much a whiz. I have played the piano since I was 8, so, and I'm not I'm not telling you that because I'm trying to brag. I'm just trying to tell you that because that's where my point of view comes from. At a point in the show, they do a special segment where they ask 2 different people in the audience to come up with a theme or a song. I can't remember what they said, a movie and a theme, or I can't remember, but they come up with 2 different ideas, and then he is given like 5 minutes to create a medley with those 2 ideas. And oh my goodness, it was so good. So good. So this is his bio, or a portion of his bio. I couldn't fit all of it in here. Casey Elliott is one of the wonderful voices. Brad Robbins is another one, and Bradley Lever, I think it's Lever, might be Lever, I apologize, is the third voice. And they, so these are just a little bit of their bios and the things that they have done before. So I wanted to make sure and include all of that and have Stevens as well because he was just so impressive. So what I want to do is I'm going to put these 2 Peekaboo pockets together. So I'm going to take, and I'm not going to adhere them to my book yet, I'm just adhering them to each other so you can see what I'm going to do, because I will have a page protector on this. So okay, so I've got, I'm going to place these together. I took the adhesive off of this one, the one on the bottom, this one. So I'm going to just place them on top of one another, directly on top of one another, and then I'm going to seal that together so that when it folds over in one piece. Then I'm going to use my tab punch and make some tabs on the edges of this, and this will go right on top of here. Alright, so let me show you what I mean. So we came out with a tab punch a while back. If you got one of these, this is a perfect way to utilize this. So you can use any kind of extra piece of paper that you have. This one's too small, so that one's not going to work. But let me let's grab this one. Okay, so we're going to just make 2 quick tabs so that we can go back or go in and find these extra things. So if you're worried about folding this over and making an appropriate fold it before you add the adhesive. I just added the adhesive and then it just went right together. But you can score that fold and then you'll get a perfect fold every time. Just an idea. Okay, I'm going to add this to the top edge like so, and then we'll add this one just below it. Just like that. Okay, and then when I put that in there, we've got tabs that will help us recognize that there's more to see there. So this one will be here, this one will be here, and I should probably put a tab on the side of this one also, but I'm not going to do that right this second. And then over on this side will be on the website when we got our tickets, instead of giving out programs, they had a QR code you could scan, and if you scanned the QR code, then you could see the program in the order that they were going to do the songs. And so oh, this one's going to flip this way. So these were the songs that they did, and I wanted to include that in the album. So these are screenshots from our phone. You can tell because of the symbols up here on the top. And before we ever got there, we parked our car downtown and we were walking to the theater, a couple blocks to the theater, and came upon a bunch of lights that were sort of tucked behind an area of buildings. And as they were tucked behind that area of buildings and we were taking some pictures and watching some people and what have you, we noticed that we could hear music. And we looked kind of across the way, and lo and behold, there was an ice rink right there in the middle of downtown. Now, if you live in the cold, frozen north, then that might not be a novel thing for you. But it was novel for us, and we lived in Brooklyn. But it was pretty fun. So we sat and watched everybody skate. This was the skating that was being done, and this was us taking pictures before when we suddenly realized we could hear music and then figured out that it was coming from back here. So just kind of a fun thing to have come upon us unexpectedly. Next year maybe we'll take the kids down and everybody can skate. I think that would be fun. I will probably be the one supervising the hot chocolate because in general I fall, I don't skate. So anyway, that's a story for another day. Okay, so I matted these 3 base pictures, and then this picture is going to, or this Peekaboo pocket is going to go on top of there. So I do need 2 more little punches. Let me go ahead and just trim this, and we'll just make those punches real quick. So that we can then be done. Oh, we need to embellish a little bit too. So we'll see what we can do with embellishing. Okay. So I'm just putting my repositionable adhesive across the edge right there. And I'm going to come in here and add this to the corner of my photo. Really is super easy because you just fold it over and make the corners match, and then you can flatten that tab out, and it works just fine. And let's see, we have enough room, so I will put this tab right here. Okay, so that one will go right there. So now I have a little bit of space here where I can journal, and I've got, I actually have space where I could add in more musical notes. I could also go in and add, where did it go? All right, so I have this sheet of stickers, which I feel like we would work well with this. The reds match, so it looks nice, and the greens are pretty close, so I think it will work nicely. We can use this one that says the Magic of Christmas. And add maybe the truck. Do we need to add the truck? We had NSD last year, remember, with the truck. So I kind of like that. The Magic of Christmas, and we'll put the truck in there. My husband has very nearly bought a red truck several times. He would love to have a red truck. However, we just got a black truck, so that's the truck of choice for now. All right, so the Magic of Christmas, it's going to go right there. And then some of these remind me of Christmas songs, so what if we pulled those off? May your days be merry and bright. Noel, that's a Christmas song. Feliz Navidad, Frosty the Snowman. Just lots of fun things. All right, so I'm going to put this music, which was the rest of what we punched up there. This is going to come in off the side. We'll move it down here just a little ways. And actually, let me lift that up again, and we'll put these slightly underneath it. That still lets me write a little bit right there and gives me a little bit of an embellishment. And then we need just a little something something for over on this side. Let's see. Oh, I missed the boat. Look at that. There's an ice skate. Well, we could add that one in right here, just because. And maybe we'll just put a snowman. A snowman and his favorite bird. I'll put them down here. Maybe just a little bit of holly. And then I believe that is more than enough for this page. All right, so the layout is done. Now we can bring back in our cute little peekaboo pockets with the curtains, and we can add these in on the edges. And look at that, showtime. Super cute. You could even add a little bit of a ribbon of a piece of paper that is maybe green across here to indicate a pullback of the curtain. I think that would be cute. And we could do letters in here as well, but I think I'm just going to leave it clear for right now. So anyway, I'm sorry for the glare. It's hard to show a peekaboo pocket without having glare, but there we go. So thanks so much for joining me. I hope you'll join me for the March Magic Sketch Challenge, and I hope that you'll have a beautiful and wonderful Valentine's Day. I'll see you next week. Until next time, I hope you have many more creative moments. Enjoy your day.